Doug Kide here with Zach Cox in Jacksonville at TIAA Bank Field. I'm still getting used to the name there.
Kind of a great name.
Kind of a mouthful. But yeah, the Patriots are taking on the Jaguars. Week 2 of the regular season. This game is ultra important for the Jaguars. We've been feeling it all week. Big time fan base around here, and the crowds are definitely starting to fill up here in the parking lot. This has kind of been described as the Jaguars Super Bowl, which you can kind of understand since they lost last year's game, the AFC Championship game, to the Patriots.
Yeah, the chatter around here is that this is probably the most important regular season game in Jaguars history, which, I mean, sounds like a bit of an overreaction, but it's really not. I mean, this is the first time in a long time that a Jaguars team enters the season with legitimate Super Bowl aspirations, and it's really going to be a measuring stick game, this game.
And for Jaguars fans at least, it always feels like the Patriots are the last ones to beat them in the playoffs and the regular season. So certainly an important game for Jacksonville, but let's get into keys of the game. My key of the game is that the Patriots offensive line, which is banged up right now, has to give Tom Brady enough time to throw, because the Jaguars secondary is no joke. You got AJ Bouye and Jalen Ramsey on the corners there. So though Patriots wide receivers are definitely going to have a hard time getting open against those cornerbacks. So last week against the Texans, Brady was able to get the ball out in about 2.4 seconds because the Texans secondary is decent, but definitely not on this level. Jaguars pass rush is just as good as the Texans pass rush. Like I said earlier, that secondary is way better. So Marcus Cannon not playing in this game. Adrian Waddle is going to be at right tackle. I think he'll need help on Calais Campbell, who's currently banged up with a knee injury. Questionable to play, but still a very dominant player. Waddle really struggled against J.J. Watt last week, and I think that Calais Campbell's probably the closest you'll find in the league to a J.J. Watt type player, and Trent Brown's got to have his hands full with Yannick Ngakoue on the left side as well. So definitely, if you can give Brady more than 2.4, maybe even 3 seconds to throw, that will definitely help the Patriots win this game. What's your biggest key here?
I'm going to go defensive for this one. I want to see some improvement out of the Patriots' run defense. Wasn't that great last week against Houston. Probably the biggest weakness in that game was the Patriots' run defense. Now, they were leading for most of the second half, so they were pretty content to just kind of let the Texans keep the ball on the ground and run down the clock. But in this game, the run offense is the strength of this Jaguars offense, which now it sounds like will not have Leonard Fournette at their disposal in this game. Leonard Fournette, obviously a 1,000-yard rusher last year, one of the best young backs in the league, and even his backup TJ Yeldon is also dealing with an injury. He's expected to play, but he might not quite be 100%. They had to promote Brandon Wilds, who a lot of people probably haven't even heard of, from the practice squad yesterday. So if the Patriots can kind of lock down that run defense a little bit, make Blake Bortles, who was very much improved last season, but he's still a quarterback that you want to beat you with his arm. If they can lock down that run game, keep Bortles in the pocket, don't let him scramble, have any of those 40-yard runs like he did last week, I think this defense should be okay.
This is definitely going to be probably a better game for skill position players than offensive linemen, defensive linemen. It is very hot here on the field. The game temperature thermometer is like above 120. I don't think it's that hot, but it's definitely going to be above the 90s. Hottest game that Tom Brady's ever played was 90 degrees back in, I believe it was 2005.
2005, yes.
So the Patriots, I mean, since football season falls in the fall, Patriots really haven't played in this type of heat very often. So it's going to be a test for everyone. One thing that's, I guess, kind of positive for the Patriots is that it was a very hot summer in New England, so they are used to practicing in this weather, but it's kind of been a few weeks at this point. It's going to be a struggle for everyone, including ourselves. You can probably see the sweat falling down our face, but don't feel too bad for us. We'll be in a cushy press box. But that'll do it for us here. Stay tuned after the game. We'll do another, we'll be recapping the action of the game. Follow Zach on Twitter at ZachCoxNessen. Follow me at Doug Kide, and go to Nessen.com for all of your Patriots coverage.